We're live.
Excellent. Hello world. Got the pod layer proof of concept demo team doing what we do, which is tracking the Mojo phenomenon and showing the methodology we use to do so. Those who don't know, Mojo is what we use, the street term for human qualia, based on the phenomenon that all humans are born with basic energetic preferences, and these preferences are hardwired. They can be developed various ways, but they always keep their basic core instrument settings, and that these all work together in productive harmony in social alchemy. All right, so we're actually going to take a pause from doing the weekly quizzes in order to get more into collaging, which is something I want to push more with the program because it's instrumental in every breakthrough I've had so far myself in cracking the riddle of the Rosetta Stone. Collaging really allows you to see the big data of things and to be immersed in the phenomenon. So you get just sort of like a kind of, if you want to study animals, just being out in the nature with them, observing what they do in and out, and you kind of get a feel for the nature of it, the way nature has done it, because there's a way to it, and being like immersed in that map is essential. Okay, so we are today going to be finishing up a review of the TV show timeline, bring us all the way up to current times, and then starting next weekend, most likely, we will begin quizzing out, starting back to the beginning of the timeline, very earliest, and quizzing out, trying to really stack up those collage quiz successes. All right, introductions, and we'll get started. I am Nye G. Coach.
I am Jaini Jailene.
I'm
Zaini Demas.
Oh, sorry. Demas, my bad.
I'm Zaini Demas.
Managing Mishtal.
I'm Naiji Ben.
Take it away.
Awesome. Cool. So let me screen share the TV show timeline 2010 through 2014. And where we left off was Ray Donovan. Start off reading the show descriptions and then the cast and their mojos. Say a cue for our first time reading off for our first time going round, and then anytime there's a new gender mojo, we'll also read a cue or call out a cue for that particular gender mojo, so folks who are watching can get an idea of the kinds of things that we're looking at in these pictures and how we're gleaning that there are certain mojo.
We'll probably get most of them done in the first like 20 minutes or so, and then we'll be cruising.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ray Donovan, a professional fixer for the rich and famous in LA, can make anyone's problems disappear except those created by his own family.
Mm-hmm. Starring Nizi Liev Schreiber as Ray Donovan. Things that you'll see with Nizi and you'll see here with Liev Schreiber. One is the eyes have a lot of energy to them. They have a cunning hunter quality. So he's looking, for example, here on the right-hand side picture, he's looking at the camera and has this piercing look, cunning, trying to figure out what he's looking at, but also without giving anything away about himself. And so that's one of the cues that you'll see with Nizi.
Nizi Paula Malcolmson. Nizi Paula, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
now
Can
we
you guys
can,
hear
yeah.
me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nizi. Here we go. Okay, Nizi Paula Malcolmson. All right. So now we're looking at a Nizi female. Same goes for the Nizi male, although let's talk about something different. They have an unaware mode of expression, and they're logic-based. So you can see that from the left, in particular, that the way that the mouth is pursing, there's an unaware resonation that's coming from that. So you can see that from the way the mouth purses that she's doing a discernment of kind. There's a show of energy that's charging from the mouth, but you can see that the cheeks are still smooth. They have a natural neutralization. So that purse is localized to the mouth. So she's got jai, and she's logic based.
Right then. Nijai Eddie Marson. So, Nijai male, he is values based, but in such a way that he's not values lead. So he has the kind of KG psychic band of look up into Jez. So the mode of expression you can see does go above the midline of the face. You can especially see it in like the left there picture. It goes above the midline and up to the eyes, but it doesn't go into the eyes. They always have the primarily dancing energy of the Ning.
Nizy-Mihawk. Nizy Mail has already been done, but I'll do it again because it's my first time. So we talked about Z and Jai for the Nizy. Nizy also have the laser eyes. You can see in the picture on the right, he has that piercing, cunning-eyed look, but he's also looking at you, and as he's doing so, you can see the visceral, the laser-eyed, concrete quality in the eyes as he's doing so.
Jinai, Stephen Bauer. Jinai are kind of going different from the ones we've seen so far, which have been lead receivers. He is a lead discerner, and that means he's going to have a unifield face, meaning that his primary discernment, in his case, Ji, warm caring, is going to take up the entirety of his face, giving, in this case, the warm helmet of caring, so that it goes in from his mouth area, radiating out, since it's an emotive power, into the cheeks and also into the eyes. So that no matter what, for example, even on like the picture on the right, where he's not doing a lot of emoting in the mouth area, still the cheeks give that expression off, as do the eyes. His cunning eyes are always tinted with that warm caring.
Naiji Catherine Monig as Lena. With Naiji, you'll see, we were looking at the Jinai just a bit ago, so with Naiji and Naizi, so things that the Naiji will have in common with the Naizi is, one, that they're lead perceivers, and they have the first, their first power is the same, which is Nai. So again, with Catherine, you'll see the eyes, a lot of energy in the eyes, and it'll have this cunning quality, and sort of, and here on the right hand side, sort of a detached quality that the Nai eyes can have, but also coupled with a hint of laser visceralness, is sort of like this sparkling receptivity, but just a hint of that, because the primary will be that cunning-eyed look. And unlike so the difference with the Jinai is that even though they have the same two top powers, since Naiji have Nai first, the Ji, the warm expression and emoting, it goes up, travels up the cheeks like the Jinai, but it doesn't go into the eyes. So they have a bifield bifurcation, so at the eye area, as opposed to a full helmet of caring that the Jinai have.
Nizy John Voight.
Nizy Elliot Gould.
Great. Chronicles the rise to power of Mary Queen of Scots, Pain, when she arrives in France as a 15-year-old. Betrothed to Prince Francis, and with her 4 best friends as ladies-in-waiting, it details the secret history of survival at French court amidst fierce foes, dark forces, and a world of sexual intrigue.
Nijai, Adelaide, Kane. All right, Nijai are gatherers, which means they're going to have the pronounced signal coming from their eyes, different than the hunter lead receivers. Gather lead receivers also have more energy coming from their eyes, but it's a drinking in, has a pull, as opposed to a piercing. It has a pulling quality. And also as a gatherer, she has that overall lifted quality.
Naiji, Megan follows.
Naiji Torrance Coombs.
Naiji male is new.
Okay, so the Naiji male. Okay, let's talk about eyes. So again, like the Naiji, they're Nai alpha, and we've covered the cunning quality of their eyes. Still true for the Naiji. They have the cunning signal that comes from their eyes that you get from Ni. It's this piercing look. It also has the visceral, laser-eyed quality of V that's behind it, but when the Ni's above the V, then it has more. That visceral quality is more feral looking than it is just straight laser. Let's see. There's a little bit of an infusion of the G in there. G is not above the Ni, so it doesn't have as much of a overpowering infused signal that the G and I has, but you can still see the caring quality coming through the eyes. And the reason for that is because since he has G conscious, that's the social environment, then these eyes are already used to assess character. So you can see, so that gives a quality of kind of piercing, but at the same time piercing into the soul, like in a humanistic way, because assessing what is this on a personal level.
Naiji Toby Rekpo.
A lot of Naiji and Nishai.
Nijai, Selena Sinden.
Caitlin Stacy, is that new?
That is.
All right. So the Nizai are also gathered. We have the eyes pronounced. You can see clearly with her of drinking in. The eyes pop out, but in a pulling in way as compared to a piercing. But different than the Nijai we've seen is they are logic based. So the cheeks have an overall sheer quality that is not easily moved by the emoting that radiates from the mouth area. Also different, the Nijai experiments are switched so that they are cool on the awaiting phase. And actually, both of these, she's more in an awaiting mode. But if she was to start to push more to articulate, using her mouth and overall forward energy, jutting and so forth, you would see a warming coming from her G, but it would not go above the midline in the G's.
Nishai Anna Popwell.
Nizy Alan Van Sprang.
Shinai Jonathan Keltz.
Nizy, Rossif Sutherland.
Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod Crane is resurrected and pulled 2.5 centuries through time to unravel the dates all the way back to the founding fathers.
Sorry. My son. Crane.
Jinai Nicole Bahari. Have we done female Jinai yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's see. You know what? I want to talk about eyes again. All right. So in the Jinai, the primates they're going to get from their eyes is going to ultimately be Nai cunning, because Nai is their top perception. But they have G first, so they're objective. And so naturally you're going to see that G kind of effusing into their eyes, because of the fact that they're objective, they have V a little bit higher, they're going to have more of a sparkle to them, more of a V sparkle to them. So you still see this cunning, assessing character sort of look, but at the same time, like if you look on the left, there's more of an outness toward the eyes, because they are objective and still oriented outward. Focusing on the people dynamics more than just the raw V itself, but it gives them that sparkle.
Naiji Orlando Jones.
Nizai, Katia Winter.
Gina Lindy Green.
Naiji John Noble.
G9 Neil Jackson.
Shinai Matt Barr.
Naiji, John Cho.
Nice Clancy Brown.
Naizi Sakina Jaffrey.
Jinai Anjue Ellis.
The Americans. Two Soviet intelligence agents pose as a married couple to spy on the Americans. A pair of deep-cover Soviet spies masquerades as a typical DC couple whose children, neighbors, coworkers, and friends are aware of their activity. At home, they're the stereotypical parents of stereotypical kids. At work, they pose as travel agents, but at night, they weave a web of confidants, lovers, dupes, and historical figures from the Reagan-era Cold War. The startlingly realistic plot twists force the viewer to consider the real cost of an undeclared war, what it takes to protect one's beliefs, if it's worth it, and if it actually worked for either side.
Nijai, Carrie Russell.
I Matthew Reese.
Jaini Holly Taylor. Jaini are new. Things you'll see with Jaini is like the Jinai, they are lead discerners and they are values-based. Their first power is Jai, so it's an internal emotive resonation as opposed to the Jinai's outward emotive expressioning to signal to the people at large what how they are feeling emotively. But for Jaini, again, it's internal resonation. But you'll see the Jai, it has more energy on the lower lip. You'll see it radiating from the mouth area and going up the cheeks and going into the eyes. And so it gives a unifield look like the Jinai. But it will be with Jai instead of Ji. And yeah, so, and then they'll have the knee playfulness in the eyes, the dancing, laughing quality in the eyes, but more energy in the mouth.
Naiji Kiedrick Salati.
Nizine Noah Emmerich.
Vijay, and it's Mahendra. Vijay are similar to the Nijai in that they are just gathers, so you will see the Jai unaware emoting go all the way from the mouth to the brim line, but no further, not into the eyes. And they're similar in that they will have the gather eyes as their source power. But there's a difference in those, most notably, there's a difference in those gather eyes, whereas the Nijai will have a playful, magical, dancing quality to their eyes. The Vijay will have a laser, concrete, visceral quality to their eyes.
Nijai, Richard Thomas.
Naizi Allison Wright.
Naiji Susan Misner.
Naizi Lev Horn.
Naizi Margot Martindale.
Naiji Costa. Awesome name.
Mm-hmm. Blackwood.
A lot of feedback from one of you guys. Do you know who that might be?
Maybe
I
let's.
can mute my mic just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can mute it while when we're not talking.
Went away.
Yeah.
His name is Ben.
A highly articulate, erudite, and intelligent businessman and mastermind, Red Reddington, has allegedly been on the 10 most wanted list of various U.S. law enforcement agencies for over 20 years. The legend is that Red is as elusive an artiste as he is clever. Red built and controls a veritable labyrinth of creative enterprises coupled with uncanny ability to gather and finesse information at the drop of a hat. On the first day at FBI for a new female profiler fresh out of Quantico, Red offers to bandy wits with the FBI. Red promises to deliver various criminals and plots previously unknown to any branch of law enforcement, and all Red requests in return is to choose his muse. Demas, you're up.
Nizy James Fader.
Nizai Megan Boone.
Ginai Diego Kladenhoff.
Gina Harry Lennox.
Kenai Hisham Tawfiq.
Jaini Amir Arison.
That is new.
Yay. Alright, so the Jaini, here's some things about Jaini. Okay, so the Jaini are discernment lead, but specifically Jai Alpha. So that makes them subjective, and of course discernment lead. Starting with discernment lead, they have a unifield face, so you're going to notice that there's a continuity between the mouth and all the way up to the eyes. Because of the fact that he's subjective, it's Jai first, he's a tower, it's going to be long. So you notice that there's a long quality that comes from the tip of the chin all the way up to the forehead. But also the emotive energy. So if you notice the emotive energy coming from the mouth, this is Jai. So it's unaware resonating. But you could see it goes into the cheeks and into the eyes as well, because it's above the perception power. So you can see that he has dancing eyes under there, but those dancing eyes are being toned with the earnest quality of Jai.
Nizy Ryan Eggold.
Nijai for Minder Nagra.
Iz Mazhan Marno.
Jaini Rachel Brosnahan.
Nizy Peter Stormare. That's a cool name too.
Mm.
Jaini Alan Alda.
Jinai Hel Ozzen.
Naiji Charles Baker.
Jaini Mary Louise Parker.
Nizy Lance Reddick.
Actually,
Mm.
pending there. I think I updated the Johnny.
Okay, so Jaini or
Just
pending?
pending right now. I'll check on it.
All right. So who has this one?
I guess me.
Yeah.
Should I say offending?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul Rubens is pending.
I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
The originals. Many years ago, alright, I'm gonna read, this is gonna be like an essay. Many years ago, an original family of vampires lived in the city of New Orleans, where they had lived happily. However, all has changed, and it's up to them to take back what they built. A spin-off from the Vampire Diaries that's set in New Orleans, the original centers on the Michelson siblings, otherwise known as the world's original vampires: Klaus Joseph Morgan, Elijah Daniel Gillies, and Rebecca Claire Holt. Now Klaus must take down his protege, Marcel Charles Michael Davis, who is now in charge of New Orleans, in order to retake his city, and he originally built New Orleans. Klaus departed from the city after being chased down by his father Michael while it was being constructed, and Marcel took charge. As Klaus has returned after many years, his ego has provoked him to become the king of the city. Every king needs an heir, says Klaus, excepting the unborn child. The child is at first to be born to a hybrid, part vampire, part werewolf, and a werewolf. Haley.
No, there's a lot going on.
Naiji Joseph Morgan.
Jinai Daniel Gillies.
Nizai Leia Pipes.
Vijay Daniel Campbell.
Johnny Phoebe Tonkin. Or Phoebe, I think.
Yeah.
Naiji Charles Michael Davis.
Naiji Yusuf Gatewood.
Jaini Claire Holt.
Jinai Stephen Kruger.
Vikings. The Adventures of Ragnar Lothbrok, the greatest hero of his age. The series tells the saga of Ragnar's band of Viking brothers and his family as he rises to become king of the Viking tribes. As well as being a fearless warrior, Ragnar embodies the Norse traditions of devotion to the gods. Legend has it that he was a direct descendant of Odin, the god of war and warriors.
Nige Travis Fiddle.
Ragnar Lothbrok. Nizy Clive Standen as Rollo.
Shiny Jesselyn Jelsig.
Nizy Gustav Skarsgård.
Okay.
Nijai Catherine Winnick.
Nige George Blagden.
Nizy Donald Logue.
Nizai Maudhurst.
Ziny Alyssa Sutherland.
That's Ziny Ladies Are New.
Ziny ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, as a Ziny, one thing you're going to see is that throughout her face, she just has that sheer neutralization energy, no matter really what she's doing with her mouth. Her eyes is just the neutralization energy goes throughout the cheeks and into the eyes, and her mouth, the emotive expression really doesn't really go beyond much the lip line that you can see on the right. It just stays very narrowly in the mouth area.
Nizy John Kavanagh.
Nige Thorborn Parr.
Jarlborg. Ginai Alexander Ludwig.
Nizy Linus Roche.
Ginai Mo Dunford.
Nizy Gabriel Byrne.
Nizai Sarah Green. Is she the demon witch lady from...
She is the demon witch lady from Penny Dreadful. You're right. Good catch. Is it you who just
I just went.
You just went. Okay. So Nizy Amy Bailey.
Shiny Gaia Weiss.
Nige Ben Robson.
Nizai Jenny Jack. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Jacques.
Jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Witches of East End. Centers on the adventures of a mother and her 2 adult daughters, both of whom unknowingly are their family's next generation of witches, who lead seemingly quiet, uneventful modern-day lives in Long Island's secluded seaside town of Northampton. When one of the daughters becomes engaged to a young, wealthy newcomer, a series of events forces her mother to admit to her daughters they are, in fact, powerful and immortal witches.
Dun dun dun.
No.
Hope your fiance likes an immortal lady. Nijai Julia Ormond.
Nizai Meitian Amick.
Nizai Jenna Dewin Tatum.
Nizai Rachel Boston.
Ginai Daniel DiTomaso.
Ginai Eric Winter.
Shiny Christian Cook.
This is one of those Ginai Nizai
Sarah,
series, yeah.
My turn.
Yep, your turn.
Jivy Bianca Lawson.
JB, ladies are new.
I thought so. As a Jai B, you can see that she has the laser visceral eyes of a V-Moja, so they have this kind of glossy camera lens quality to the eyes, but they're not. That's not the thing that's most emphasized. She does have the warming of being the Jez alpha that goes into the eyes that gives them a warm, gauzy look mixed with that. We often call it doe eyes, I think.
Okay, so let's skip this. Okay. Ben, you're up.
Oh, yeah. Crossing lines. Special Crime Unit investigates serialized crimes that cross over European borders to hunt down criminals and bring them to justice.
Excellent show.
Shinai Tom Wallachia, otherwise known as Jake and Hagar.
Jake and Hagar, the man of no face. Thousands. Thousands of them. Nizy Donald Sutherland.
Can't remember where I remember him from.
What's that?
I can't remember where I remember that actor from. Like, I'm thinking.
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, I'm remembering, let's see, The Hunger Games. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right?
Gina,
Uh-huh.
Gina,
like the main.
Gina Laura Rossi.
Don't get famous.
Okay, Gina Laura Rossi.
There you go.
Nice.
Sorry.
Okay.
Nicey William Dixter.
Oh, yeah, Nizy Mark Lavoine.
Ginai Gabriella Peschen.
Genai Richard Flood.
Nizai Elsa Molian.
Ginai Goran Visnij.
Johnny Elizabeth Mitchell.
Wait, I read him now. He's Nizy. Nizy Stuart Martin.
Alright, let's grab Nizy. This?
No.
No, I realized it as soon as I highlighted it.
She's red too. She's Nizai.
Alright. Amir Nizai. There we go. Who's got this one?
Did you just go, Shailene?
Oh, it's me. So Nizai Naomi Buttrick.
Idiot Sitter, one of my favorites. A straight and narrow young woman is hired to babysit a mega-rich woman child who has been left alone in her daddy's mansion under house arrest.
Nice, or Zenai, Jillian Bell.
Zenai are new.
Okay, Zenai. So as Zenai, she has that very full pilot face, helmet head quality. Has a just very rounded yang sort of look to her face, but also because it's Z, that it's actually neutralized. The emotive expression does not really go up much the face. It stays in the mouth area very tightly.
Nizy Charlotte Newhouse.
Nizai Stephen Root. Is that new?
Yeah.
All right. So Nizai are gatherers. Talked a bit about the. Let's see what I want to do with here. I think what I'll do with him is talk about how he has that lifted quality as a gatherer, even when they're using their polar power, which is a worldview map. So when you do the squinting, any mojo is doing more of the squinting and intense concentration, or trying to really kind of figure out what they're looking at. It brings in the worldview map power. But in the case of the gatherers, it is their fourth power, so it has a very altered state quality to it. So even though he has that sort of pinch quality coming from his fourth ranked Vi in both pictures, he still maintains a buoyant energy, kind of playful energy in his overall bearing and in the halo of the eyes. There's still a good knee halo. You can still see in those slits, his slitted eyes.
Zenai Elizabeth Durazo. Adimas, you have this one.
Vijay Angela Little.
Another picture.
Yeah, Nizai TJ Mueller.
He's awesome in this
As
one.
Chet, yeah. Oh, by the way, really quick, you guys know? Are you guys aware that they turned Idiot Sitter into a full-blown series? It's not just internet shorts anymore.
Yeah, we've seen all the episodes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
love it.
It's hilarious. Who's that? Who said,
Me? No, Mitchell.
Oh, okay, so it's my turn. Klondike. The lives of two childhood best friends, Bill and Epstein, in the late 1890s as they flocked to the gold rush capital in the untamed Yukon Territory. This man versus nature tale places our heroes in a land full of undiscovered wealth, but ravaged by harsh conditions, unpredictable weather, and desperate, dangerous characters, including greedy businessmen, seductive courtesans, and native tribes witnessing the destruction of their people and land by opportunistic entrepreneurs.
G9, Richard Madden.
Rob Stark?
Hmm
Don't
The-
come to that wedding.
the
They will
young
not go
wolf.
well for you. Naiji Abby Cornish.
Nizy Tim Roth.
Nizy Sam Shepard.
I.Z. Martin Salkus.
Nice Ian Hart.
Nizai Connor Leslie.
Nijai Tim Blake.
They have the longer face.
Yeah, he does.
Very interesting.
Jinai Augustus Brooke.
Johnny and Johnny Simmons.
Great Loss Pending.
Okay. Mind Games. Centers on the complicated relationship between the Edwards brothers. Clark, a bipolar genius in human psychology, and Ross, a slick ex-con who solved their clients' problems using the real science of human motivation and manipulation.
Niji Christian Slater.
Nizai Steve Zahn.
Then happened within that family.
Right? Yeah.
Is it you, Ben?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Johnny Gregory Marshall.
Shiny Jamie Ray Newman.
Jaini Catherine Cunningham.
Jivy Megalyn. Okay. Echikonoke. Bam.
Nice, look at that. Smooth.
Jinai Cedric Sanders.
Black Sails. Captain Flint and his pirates 20 years prior to Robert Louis Stevenson's classic Treasure Island.
Nice Toby Stevens.
A lot happened. Jinai Hananu.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nizy Luke Arnold.
Nizy Zach Gowan.
G9 Jessica Parker Kennedy.
Nice Louise Barnes.
Nizy Sean Cameron Michael.
Jaini Toby Schmitz.
Rackham.
Jinai Hakeem K. Kazim.
Oh, Ziny Clara Paget.
Nizy, Mark Ryan.
Junai, Tom Hopper.
BoJack Horseman. Meet the most beloved sitcom horse of the 90s 20 years later. BoJack Horseman was the star of the hit TV show Horsin' Around, but today he's washed up, living in Hollywood, complaining about everything and wearing colorful sweaters.
Nizai Will Arnett as BoJack Horseman.
Nijai Ellison Brie is Dion Nugia. I don't know.
Diane. Yeah.
Diane Nguyen.
Win.
Yeah.
Naiji, a bit more smaller his head. Big head.
Your head will be smaller, sir.
Naiji, Aaron Paul.
Nizai, Amy Sedaris. Princess Caroline.
Nizai Paul F. Tompkins as Mr. Peanut Butter.
Also,
Oh, he's
Archer.
so positive. Is he an art? Does he do the
I think
voice of
Sterling
Archer?
Archer, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Forever. A 200-year-old man works in the New York City morgue trying to find the key to unlock the curse of his immortality. Henry Morgan is a man who's been alive for 200 years, and he doesn't know why, and has spent the past 200 years trying to find out. Presently, he works as a medical examiner in New York. Detective Joe Martinez works with him and is intrigued with him. Abe is the only one who knows Henry's secret.
Nizy Lone Gruffet.
Nizai, Alana De La Garza.
Joel David.
He's in red. He's a shiny.
Aha. Thought so. Okay. Go a little bit. Oh, there
Oh,
are
go
no.
down.
Go down.
Schmitz.
Where?
Schmitz passed him.
Did I? Where?
Oh,
Ah. Here we go. Shiny Joel David Moore.
Nizy Donnie Keshawars.
Nizy Jadarsh.
Jinai Lorraine Toussaint.
Gotham. The story behind Commissioner James Gordon's rise to prominence in Gotham City in the years before Batman's arrival. In crime-ridden Gotham City, Thomas and Martha Wayne are murdered before young Bruce Wayne's eyes. Although the idealistic Gotham City police detective James Gordon and his cynical partner Harvey Bullock seem to solve the case quickly, things are not so simple. Inspired by Bruce's traumatized desire for justice, Gordon vows to find it amid Gotham's corruption. Thus begins Gordon's lonely quest that would set him against his own comrades in the underworld with their own deadly rivalries and mysteries. In the coming wars, innocents will be lost and compromise will be made, as some criminals will fall as casualties while others will rise up as supervillains. All the while, young Bruce observes this war with a growing obsession that would one day drive him to seek his own revenge as the Batman.
The Batman. Naiji Ben McKenzie as James Gordon.
Nizy Donald Logue.
Nizy David Mazus.
I don't think they're
Nizy Sean Pertwee.
kind of just tapping, just make a space somewhere. See if it does go away.
Okay. Thank you. I'll do that.
Nizy, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Shiny Robin Lord Taylor as Oswald Cobblepot, aka Penguin.
Nizy Aaron Richards as Barbara Keene.
No, Barbara, no, go ahead.
Nijai Cameron Vicendova.
Cat girl.
Shinai Zabruna Rivera as Sarah Essen.
Shiny Corey Michael Smith.
Edward.
Enigma, the Riddler.
Dun, dun, dun. Nizi Victoria Cartagena as Renee Montoya.
Prepare to die. Genai Andrew Stewart Jones.
I am your father.
Nizi John Gilman.
Nijai Marina Baccarin as Dr. Leslie Tompkins.
Nizi Drew Powell.
Butch. Jaini Richard Kine as the Sleazy Mayor.
Genai J.W. Cortez as Detective Alvarez.
Ted Alvarez.
Nijai Mackenzie Lay.
Oh, and that's a Sofri, it looks like.
Yeah.
Nizai Claire Foley as Ivy Pepper / Poison Ivy, and that's Sofri.
Nizi David Zayas. Don Murray.
Nizai Carol Kane as Gertrude Kappelpuck.
Genai Nicholas D'Agosto as Harvey Dent.
Dope face.
Naiji Anthony Kerrigan.
Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Former Daily Show correspondent, John Oliver begins his persona to, I can't read the rest, to this new weekly news satire program.
Ziny John Oliver as himself.
My email is new.
Cool. All right, so Ziny are lead discerners. In this case, they are tower mojos. In fact, I'm going to focus on them being a tower. Tower mojos all share a natural, calm, centering quality. In this case, it's a chilly calm. A chilly being sort of comfortable in his own position. And that is something that all the tower mojos exude, having a compass bearing power as their major momentum.
Marco Polo. In a world replete with greed, betrayal, sexual intrigue, and rivalry, Marco Polo is based on the famed explorer's adventures in the Kublai Khan's court in 13th century China.
Naiji Lorenzo Richelme as Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
Remember this guy.
My turn?
Yeah,
Nijai Benedict Wong.
Kublai Khan.
Nijai Joan Chen as Empress Shabi.
Naiji
Not too shabby.
Rimi Hai.
Hi. Nijai Zuzu. It's Kokachin.
Naiji
Oh, this
Tom
guy.
Wu as 100 Eyes.
Yeah.
Master, dude.
Mm.
Naiji Mahesh Jadu. That was the Glen, I think, right?
Mm.
That was one of us like me.
Olivia Chang.
Amen.
Jinai Uli Latukifu.
Naiji Chin Han is Gia Sidawi.
Naisi Amr Waket.
Jaini King Wakan. So it's
Jani Claudia Kim.
Jai V Shun An Un.
Jinai Rick Yoon.
oh, it's Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Hey there.
Outlander follows the story of Claire Randall, a married combat nurse from 1945 who was mysteriously swept back in time to 1743 where she is immediately thrown into an unknown world where her life is threatened. When she is forced to marry Jamie Fraser, a chivalrous romantic young Scottish warrior, a passionate relationship is ignited that tears Claire's heart between two vastly different men into irreconcilable lives.
She's a actually.
Ah, very, very interesting.
She's an IG. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Alright, an IG Catriona ability.
Jinai Sam Ewan.
Nizy Duncan LaCroix. This is my first read. So, Nizy have. Well, I'm seeing a lot of knife penetrating eyes right now, as well as a very strong anvil quality. It can be a little bit hard, I guess, to see the anvil given the beard in the picture on the right, but it is definitely still there. Although I can see why some might think he might be a Naiji with like strong Zai or something, and he's like this Bam riff. But those cheeks are definitely cool. They're very sheer. They don't, and the emoting does not go up past the midline of the face, and those eyes are definitely cunning and very piercing in the way that they come across. They pop out quite a bit.
Graham McTavish.
Nizy Tobias Menzies.
Grant O'Rourke is pending.
Shiny Stephen Walters.
Penny Dreadful. Explorer Sir Malcolm Murray, American gunslinger Ethan Chandler, and others unite to combat supernatural threats in Victorian London.
Nizy Timothy Dalton.
Sir Malcolm.
Murray.
Shiny Eva Green as Vanessa Ives.
What about me?
Did we skip you?
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I was getting
Yeah.
that six information.
That's okay, let's do the next one.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Nizy Josh Hartnett.
Cool. Now we'll go to back to demons.
Nizai Helen McCrory.
Rory.
Shiny Reeve Carney.
Naiji Rory Kinnear.
Nizai Billy Piper.
No, processing.
Jinai Danny Sapani. Pretty shiny.
Alright. We have Shiny Harry Treadway as Dr. Victor Frankenstein.
Scorpion. An eccentric genius forms an international network of super geniuses to act as the last line of defense against the complicated threats of the modern world.
Jinai Elias Gable.
Bijai Catherine McPhee.
Shiny Eddie K. Thomas.
Nizy Jaden Wong.
Nijai Ari Stidham.
Nizy Robert Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Silicon Valley. In high-tech gold rush or modern Silicon Valley, the people most qualified to succeed are the least capable of handling success. Comedy partially inspired by Mike Judge's own experiences as a Silicon Valley engineer in the late 1980s.
Naiji Thomas Middleditch.
Nizai T.J. Miller.
Ziny Josh Brenner.
Zaini Martin Starr.
Nizai Kumal Nanjani.
Nizai Christopher Evan Welsh.
Nizi Amanda Crew.
Ziny Zach Woods.
I think there's a pattern here.
Nizi Matt Ross.
Zaini Jimmy O Yang. Demons.
Oh, sorry. The Flash. Barry Allen wakes up 9 months after he was struck by lightning and discovers that the bolt gave him the power of super speed. With his new team and powers, Barry becomes the Flash and fights crime in Central City. Barry Allen is a Central City police forensic scientist with a reasonably happy life despite the childhood trauma of a mysterious red and yellow being killing his mother and framing his father. All that changes when a massive particle accelerator accident leads Barry to being struck by lightning in his lab. Coming out of a coma 9 months later, Barry and his new friends at Star Labs find that he now has the ability to move at superhuman speed. Furthermore, Barry learns that he is but one of many affected by the event, most of whom are using their powers for evil. Determined to make a difference, Barry dedicates his life fighting such threats as the Flash. While he gains allies he never expected, there are also secret forces determined also to aid and manipulate him for their own agenda.
Mitchell, you're up.
Naiji Grant Gustin.
Johnny Candace Patton.
She's been updated?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think so. She's made GIB.
Yeah, I was just looking at her thinking that actually.
Like,
Yep.
The little view.
Ben?
Oh, I just went.
Oh, okay. Daniel Panabaker?
Genai Rick Cosnet.
Jaime Carlos Valdez.
Naiji Tom Cavanaugh.
Gina and Jesse L. Martin.
The last ship. The crew of a naval destroyer is forced to confront the reality of a new existence when a pandemic kills off most of the Earth's population. Naval destroyer Nathan James is sent on what they're told is a research mission in the Arctic. Accompanying them is scientist Rachel Scott. After a few months in the Arctic while Scott is on the ice doing research, some men attack them. They get back to the ship and the commander, Tom Chandler, asks the doctor what's going on. She says that a deadly disease broke out a few months ago. At first, they thought it was contained, but they had no cure. They felt that the cure was in the Arctic, which why she's here. But she has since received word that it has now spread to most of the globe. Chandler tries to call the president, but learns the president and vice president are dead, and the U.S. government might not have long to survive. The current president tells him that the Nathan James was not in the hot zone, so he and his crew are okay. But now it's up to them to safeguard Scott because she holds the key to the plant's survival. But there are those who want to cure too, and will do what they have to, whatever they have to get it. So they keep going to and trying to find supplies and what they need so Scott can make the cure.
Whoa, that's
a lot of plot.
Jinai Eric Dane.
Nizai Rona Mitra.
Jaime Marissa Neatling.
Naiji Adam Baldwin.
Jibai, Christina Elmore. Jibai is new. The difference you'll see with the Jibai and the Jinai we've been doing is that the Ji-Vi have a Vi concerned look to their eyes. They will both have the Ji warm aware emoting go all the way from the mouth into the eyes area, but underneath all the Ji alpha have the worldview power, and for them it's Vi and will have the more concerned and pinched look.
All right.
And
It's
Michael.
my turn, actually. I got skipped.
Oh.
But
Oh, I'm sorry, Mitchell.
thanks for doing all that work for me, Ben. Michael Cohen Northano is pending.
Sorry, I just saw the Ji-Vi and was like, all right, let's go.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right.
Tag me.
This is Genai Charles Parnell.
Genai Travis Van Winkle.
Genai Jocko Sins.
Jocko. Nizy John Piper Ferguson as Tex. I don't know the character, I just had to say Tex.
Don't blame.
So what's his mojo exactly?
Shiny.
Shiny Chris Sheffield.
Now it's your
Johnny
turn, Ben.
Kevin, Michael Martin.
Nijai Andy T. Tran.
Shiny Sam Spruill.
Ness Bautista is pending.
Bijai Hope Olaide. Wilson.
Wilson.
Mitchell.
Shiny Masterson.
The Librarians. This one's a little shorter. A group of librarians sent off on adventures in an effort to save mysterious ancient artifacts.
Starring Genai Rebecca Rumjan as Eve Baird.
Ji-Vi Christian Kane. Okay, that's new. Ji-Vi are Ji-Alpha, so they're going to have that warm helmet of caring we talked about before that goes up their whole face. You can see, for example, on both these, on the right, he's not doing much emoting at all, yet the face has full tonal quality. On the left, he's doing just a little bit, but boom, it just shoots up his face into the eyes. But as compared to the Genai, he has the prepared, concerned eyes of Vi, which have a bit more of a heavy, sort of like directly looking at what they are observing, as opposed to looking through it or feeling the patterns. They are grabbing onto it and holding it in an accentuated manner, turning over in their eyes.
And a bit of twinkle from the.
It does. Especially as compared to the Genai,
Yeah.
a more tighter quality, a slight more yang.
Naiji Lindy Booth.
Nizai John Kim.
Soft read.
Nizy John Luriquette.
Nizy Matt Frewer.
Jivy Leslie Ann Brandt.
True Detective. The lives of two detectives, Rusty Cole and Martin Hart, become entangled during a 17-year hunt for a serial killer in Louisiana. In 2012, Louisiana State Police detectives Rusty Cole and Martin Hart are brought in to revisit a homicide case they worked in 1995. As the inquiry unfolds in present day through separate interrogations, the two former detectives narrate the story of their investigation, reopening unhealed wounds and drawing into question their supposed solving of a bizarre ritualistic murder in 1995. The timelines braid and converge in 2012 as each man is pulled back into a world they believe they left behind. In learning about each other and their killer, it becomes clear that darkness lives on both sides of the law.
Starring Genai Matthew McConaughey as Detective Rusty.
Nizy Woody Harrelson as Detective Marty Hart.
Nijai Michelle Monaghan.
Genai Michael Potts.
Nizy, Kevin Dunn.
Power. James Ghost St. Patrick, a wealthy New York nightclub owner who has it all, catering for the city's elite and dreaming big, lives a double life as a drug kingpin. He wants to build an empire, turn the club into a Fortune 500 business, but there's just one problem. Ghost is living a double life. When he is not in the club, he is the kingpin of the most lucrative drug network in New York for a very high-level clientele. His marriage, family, and business all become unknowingly threatened as he is tempted to leave his criminal life behind and become the rags-to-riches businessman he wants to be most of all.
Starring Junai Omari Hardwick as James Ghost St. Patrick.
Nizy, Joseph Sikora.
Tommy.
Shiny Layla Lauren.
Vijay, Naturi Naughton.
Nizy, Andy Bean.
Naiji Shane Johnson.
Nijai Lucy Walters.
Nizy, J.R. Ramirez. I have to be right back, guys. I'll jump in as soon as I come back.
All right.
Good.
Shiny Luis Antonio Ramos.
Johnny Adam Huss.
Jinai, David Fumero.
Nizy 50 Cent.
Mm-hmm.
Junai Simqua Walls.
Jinai Rotimi.
Vijay Lala Anthony.
Jinai, Frankie Gas Poncho.
Oh, Frankie G. Frankie G.S. Poncho, sorry. My bad.
Frankie. Okay.
Yes, Poncho is a nice.
Oh.
Ginai Greg Serrano.
Naiji Jarrell Lee Wesley.
Nice Enrique Murciano.
Murciano, I think.
So,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Nizai Catherine Nardusi.
Okay, that
Bam.
brings us to the end.
Last
of
one. All right, let's do
TV
it.
show timeline for 2010-2014. So let me open the last one.
The
Okay.
2019. Well, we haven't got that far, so.
No, we're done. That single was our ambition.
Yeah.
Right,
Might have to wait a
Carter.
little while for that.
Okay, in 1946, Peggy Carter is relegated to secretarial duties in the Strategic Scientific Reserve, the SSR. When Howard Stark is accused of treason, he secretly recruits Peggy to clear his name and with the help of his butler, Edwin Jarvis.
Nizai Haley Atwell.
Jaini James Darcy as Edwin.
Nizy, Chad Michael Murray.
Jinai Enver
Jojak?
Jokash?
Patch. Yeah.
Jokash?
Nizy Shio Wickham as Roger Dooley.
Nizai Megan Faye.
Shiny Lindsay Fonseca.
Naiji Bridget Megan as Dottie.
She's quite the huntress.
Jinai Alexander Carroll.
Jinai Kyle Ornheimer.
Johnny James Landry Hubert as Green Suit.
Jaini James Frame.
Ziny James Urbaniak.
Naiji Dominic Cooper as Howard Stark.
I think these might be back, so Mitchell.
Yeah. Mitchell, you're
Oh,
up.
Adimas is back.
Adimas is back.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Oh.
another period. Another period follows the lives of the obscenely rich Bellecourt family and their many servants in turn-of-the-century Rhode Island. Natasha Leggero and Ricky Lindholm lead an all-star cast, including Michael Ian Black, David Wayne, Christina Hendricks, Jason Ritter, and Paget Brewster. In this historical satire about narcissistic aristocrats and the poor souls in their employ.
Mitchell, you're up.
Nice. Natasha Leggero.
Nizy, Ricky Lindholm.
Nizai Michael Ian Black.
Keepers.
Nizy, Patrick Brewster.
Nizy Beth Dover. Blanche.
Nizai Brett Gelman.
Vijay Christina Hendricks.
Sure.
Johnny, Brian Husky.
Victor Schmemmenhorn Fish.
The fish.
Naiji Jason Ritter.
Shiny, Dave Wayne.
Jaini Armin Weitzman. Garfield.
Zenai Lauren Ash.
Nizy David Koshner.
Backstrom. Backstrom, the renowned misanthropic police detective, takes on new and daunting cases.
Can't be that renowned. You only last one season.
Mhm.
Nizy Rain Wilson.
Shinai, Paige Kennedy.
Nizai Beatrice Rosen.
Nizai Genevieve Angelison.
Jinai Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, yeah. Gina Christopher Polaha.
Broad City. Alright, so Broad City follows two women throughout their daily lives in New York City, making the smallest and mundane events hysterical and disturbing to watch all at the same time.
Nizy, Abby Jacobson.
Nizy Ileana Glazer.
Nizai John Gamberling. Bevers.
Nizai Hannibal Buress.
Nizai Arturo Castro.
Nizai Stefan Schneider.
Nizy, Paul W. Downs.
There's a pattern.
Jaini Chris Gethard.
Never mind.
The last one.
Shailene Rendit.
It's your
CSI Cyber. Special Agent Avery Ryan works to solve crimes as a cyber psychologist for the FBI.
Shiny Patricia Arquette.
Naiji Shad Moss.
Little Bow Wow.
Wee Bow Wow.
Nijai Charlie Coots.
Shinai, to me.
Yes.
Janai, James Vanderbeek.
Vijay Haley Hiyoko.
Shiny Peter McNichol.
Daredevil. A blind lawyer with his other senses superhumanly enhanced fights crime as a costume superhero. As a child, Mac Murdock was blinded by a chemical spill in a freak accident. Instead of limiting him, it gave him superhuman senses that enabled him to see the world in a unique and powerful way. Now he uses these powers to deliver justice, not only as a lawyer in his own law firm, but also as a vigilante at night, stalking the streets of Hell's Kitchen as Daredevil, the man without fear.
Jinai Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Shiny Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson.
Nishai Deborah Ann Walt.
Was it
Didn't Glenn just go?
was it you just?
Did I skip ourselves? I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't skipped.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. Yeah. These three.
Yeah, Nishai Deborah Ann Walt.
Nice. Gina Rosario Dawson.
That's the same picture.
Nicey Vincent D'Onofrino.
Make sure you don't miss it. See it twice.
Nizy John Bernthal.
This guy.
Jiny Elodie Young.
Nice Z Scott Glenn. Wow.
Oh, Glenn.
Shiny Joffrey Cantor.
Naiji Skylar Gartner.
Yeah, he started off as a Naiji in life, then grew into a G9.
Look at that. One's a close up and one's a little bit of a like far away.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Is Demas?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Gina Chris Tardio.
Toby Leonard is pending.
Empire. A unique.
Hold on.
Gotta get the,
A unique family drama set in the world of a hip-hop empire.
Starring Nijija P. Henson.
Naiji Terrence Howard.
Issues.
I think he's undefeated.
Is Jivy. Alright.
You just type it in. I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Alright. Jivy Juicy Smollett
That's it.
is new. So, Jivy, you'll see their lead discerners also with Jai. You'll see the unaware expression here, particularly on the right-hand side, where he's smiling big. You see more energy in the lower lip, again with the Jai. And it has a more, the emotive resonation of Jai, when the smile has a more vulnerable look than a Ji will have, because it's an internal, it's coming like internal emotive, like sort of involuntary resonation. And it comes up into the cheeks and permeates the eye area as well, and gives this whole veil of poignancy. But the eyes here will be different than a Chinese, because they'll be have this more clear-eyed quality, like a camera lens, and a laser-eyed quality that comes from the V of capturing the visceral five senses in the environment.
Jinai Trey Byers.
Nijai Caitlin Doubleday.
Jiny Courtney Love.
V. Zai Bishop Stevens. Is that new?
That is.
All right. All right. So with the V's eye, they have V as their source power, and that gives them a very concrete look in their eyes. The eyes pop out more so than the mouth area because they're perception lead, but then they're also very, very, they're also unhooded, and they also have a very shiny sort of quality to them. And they also have a very laser-like focus to them, because V is always scanning the environment for concrete details and any sort of five senses kind of information that it can pick up on in the form of, you know, what's observable, but then also at the same time there are other senses as well. And he also has the more Cheshire quality to his emoting as well, given the Zai as his tandem power, and his emoting goes all the way up to his midline.
Nishai Rafael de la Puente.
It's a cool name.
Naiji Eka Darville.
Jinai, Bryshia Gray.
Jaivi Grace Keeley.
Jinai Malakioba.
Jivai Gabri Sidib.
Sidibe.
Sidibe.
Jaivi Saraya McNeil.
Jivai Taronda Jones.
Jivai Tasha Smith.
Shinai Naomi Campbell.
Nizi Judd Nelson.
Nijai Antoine McKay.
Okay, and we're pretty much at 4:30, but I'd like to keep going a little over if you guys don't mind. We're pretty much halfway through this last collage.
Sure.
Sure.
Cool. Mr. Robot follows a young computer programmer, Malik, who suffers from social anxiety disorder and forms connections through hacking and is recruited by a mysterious anarchist. Elliot Anderson, a young cybersecurity engineer living in New York, who assumes the role of a vigilante hacker by night. Elliot meets a mysterious anarchist known as Mr. Robot, who recruits Elliot to join his team of hackers, F Society. Who has a social anxiety connection to people by hacking them, is intrigued, but uncertain he wants to be part of the group. The show follows Mr. Robot's attempts to engage Elliot in his mission to destroy the corporation Elliot is paid to protect. Compelled by his personal beliefs, Elliot struggles to resist the chance to take down the multinational CEOs that are running and ruining the world.
Naiji Rami Malek as Elliot.
Nijai, Portia Doubleday.
Naiji Christian Slater.
Nizi Carly Shaken.
Nizi Martin Wallstrom.
Shiny Mitchell Gill.
Jinai Ben Rappaport.
Shiny Gloria Rubin.
Nize Francis. There a ton of feedback.
Yeah.
Other space. In the year 2105, a young, inexperienced, and highly flawed crew embarks on a routine exploratory space mission. Suddenly, their ship, the UMP Cruiser, is drawn through a portal into a different, mysterious universe. With no maps, no contact, and no way back home, Captain Stuart Lipinski, First Officer / Stuart's older sister, Karen Lipinski, and their crew have to learn to work together, all while dealing with mysterious space clouds, food, and fuel shortages, robot rebellions, folds in time, and the occasional alien attack.
This has to get another season.
Yeah.
Zaini Karen Sony.
Nizi Bess Bruce.
Nizai Neil Casey.
Nizai Eugene Cordero.
Nizai Milana Vaintrub. Still hearing a lot of feedback.
I'm not sure. I can't hear the feedback on my end, but if folks
probably
want to mute with
where it's
their
coming
mics.
from.
Which means it's probably coming from
Yeah.
you.
Well,
Laura Start.
sorry.
Probably, but
Yeah. Go ahead. Who's next?
oh, I think it's me. Nizai Joel Hodgson.
Nizai Connor Leslie.
Nizai Trace Malou.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. A woman is rescued from a doomsday cult and starts life over again in New York City. After being rescued from an underground bunker in which she lived for the past 15 years, Kimmy Schmidt decides to move to New York to have a normal life. She makes friends with her new roommate Titus and works as a babysitter for Jacqueline Voorhees, the wife of a millionaire with many issues. Even though many obstacles are thrown in her way, Kimmy makes the best of her new life while having to adapt to the new world around her.
Nijai Ellie Kemper.
Shiny Titus Burgess. Okay, I guess the feedback's.
Nizai, Carol Kane.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Nizai Jane Krakowski.
Narcos. A chronicled look at the criminal exploits of Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar. Narcos tells the true life story of the growth and spread of cocaine drug cartels across the globe and attended efforts of law enforcement to meet them head-on in a brutal, bloody conflict. It centers around the notorious Colombian cocaine kingpin Pablo Escobar and Steve Murphy, a DEA agent sent to Colombia on a U.S. mission to capture and ultimately kill him.
Izzy Wagner Mora as Pablo Escobar.
Nige Boyd Holbrook.
Nicey Pedro Pascal.
Nijai, Joanna Christie.
Gina Maurice Comte.
Johnny Paulina Gitan.
Danielle Kennedy is pending.
Gina Richard T. Jones.
Mitchell.
Gina Stephanie Signy.
George A. Jimenez is pending.
John Pablo Raba is pending. I think I'm gonna have to call it for tonight, guys.
I can take
I'll
off.
see. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week or whenever we meet up again.
Sounds good. And next time we're going to be doing the quiz. We'll start quizzing out. Glenn, did you get the review document?
Yeah, the one that you sent just before the hangout, I think.
Yep, that's what we'll be quizzing out of next Sunday.
All right, cool.
See you then.
All right, see ya.
See you
Bye,
then.
team.
Bye.
Bye, world.
Okay. So who's up? The coach.
Raul Mendez, pending.
Um,
Okay, you can leave that.
okay.
It's like knee behind it,
Nizai Paulina
extra knee.
Garcia.
Yeah.
Patrick Saint Esprit is pending.
Jaime Luis Guzman.
Pending Bruno Butcher.
Naiji Ana de la Reguera.
Blind spot. Jane Doe is found in Times Square with no memory and mysterious tattoos on her body. A woman with no memories of her past, Jane Doe, is found naked in Times Square with her body fully covered in intricate tattoos. Her discovery sets off a vast and complex mystery that immediately ignites the attention of the FBI, which begins to follow the roadmap of her tattoos into a larger conspiracy of crime, while bringing her closer to discovering the truth about her identity.
Jaini Jamie Alexander.
Nige Sullivan Stapleton.
Gina Rob Brown.
Shiny Audrey Esparza.
Just some more knee in there.
Jaini Ashley Johnson.
Jinai Ukweli Roach.
Makes you feel like, should I be saying this like Ginai?
Yeah.
Like the question.
Jinai
Jinai, Miriam, Jean Baptiste.
Jinai, Michael Gasson.
Nizi, J.O. Sanders.
Rosewood. Miami pathologist Dr. Beaumont Rosewood
Actually, let's
Jr.
not go too long in time. Let's go ahead and just skip the descriptions.
All right, so Rosewood. Gina Morse Chestnut as Dr. Beaumont Rosewood Jr.
Shiny Jane Lee Ortiz.
Mitchell.
Jinai, Gabriel Dent.
Jani Anne Conklin.
Ginai, Lorraine Toussaint.
Nizi Dominic Lombardozzi.
Shivy Nicole Ari Parker.
Jinai, Reina Serrani.
Minority Report.
Jai V, Megan Good.
Naishi Stark Sands.
Jinai Nick Sano.
Zaini, Daniel London.
Naji Laura Reagan.
Izai, Jun Lee.
Nishai Wilmer Valderrama.
Jinai Tina Lifford.
Jinai, William McAvoy.
Humans.
Shijai V, Gemma Chan.
Nizi Catherine Parkinson.
Nizi Luthi Carls.
Nizi, Tom Goodman Hill.
Jani Ivano Jeremiah.
Gina, Sophie Derisu.
Shiny Theo Stevenson.
Nizi Neil Maskell.
Jinai, Colin Morgan.
Nizi Ruth Bradley.
Izai, Pixie Davies.
Nizai Emily Barrington.
Danny Webb as Hob is painting, evidently.
Nizi.
Nizi Danny
Yeah.
Webb.
Mitchell.
Nizi, William.
Nizar Rebecca Front.
Nizi, Tor Pluck.
Baishi Jack Durgis.
That's new, isn't
Baishi is new, so Baishi, they are a Jez hunter, like the Naiji that we've seen above. So things that they'll share is one they'll leaf receivers, and they are values based. So the emoting and their particular emoting is G, like the Naiji. So it will be that aware emotive expression. It will go up, travel into the cheeks, but not into the eyes. The difference here between Baiji and Naiji is that the Baiji will have instead of having the cunning eyes of the Nai, they'll have this prepared quality, and also so the eyes have a more tight quality. The skin around the eyes, it's tighter, and the eyes themselves have a more dense quality to them. And there's a energy of concern that's coming from the eyes.
Nizi Jill Halfpenny.
Jinai, Will Tudor.
Jessica Jones, a former superhero.
We're not reading.
Nizi, Kristen Ritter.
Going to do hard for that.
Rachel
Ain't
Taylor.
got no time for that.
Naishi Eka Darville.
Zaini, David Tennant.
Shiny Carrie Ann Moss.
Nizi, Will Cheval.
Gina, Susie Abermate.
Jinai Mike Coulter.
Naiji, Aaron Moriarty.
Nijai Robin Wager.
Expanse.
Jinai Thomas Ching.
Jinai Stephen Strait.
Nizai Cass Anbarb.
Jivy, Dominique Tipper.
Jinai West Chatham.
Nizai Shure Agdaslu.
Jinai Athena Carcanis.
Jinai Chad L. Coleman.
Jivy Florence Favre.
Jinai J. Hernandez.
Nizy Elias Two Fixes.
Men, Women, Wild.
Naiji Justin Cook.
Oh yes, Nijai Jenny Cook.
Naiji Mitchell Langan.
Nijai Johanna Trias.
Jinai Max something. Is it really something?
Okay.
Okay.
And his partner.
Okay. So,
Right then.
Mitchell, that's it.
Nijai Lin something.
12 monkeys. That's all you need to know.
Naiji Aaron Stanford.
Jinai Amanda Shaw.
Nizy Barbara Sukawa.
Jinai Kirka Asamoto.
Jinai Noah Beaton. And new, it says.
Naiji Emily Hampshire.
Jinai Laura Barnes.
Jaini Tom Newman. Or Noonan.
Jaini Murray Farad.
Ziny Allison Down.
Naiji Todd Stashwick.
Nijai Romina Dugo.
Nizy Xander Berkeley.
Nizy Zelchko Ivanek.
Mad Dogs.
Johnny Ben Chaplin.
Nizy Michael Imperioli.
Naishi Romani Malko.
Nizai Steve San.
Nizy Phil Davis.
Mark Vinelli is pending.
Jinai Rachel.
Nijai Maria Boto.
Jinai Kobe Dell.
Jinai Billy Zane.
Beginning Doyle.
Jinai Michael Weston.
Jaini Stephen Mangan.
Naiji Lydiard.
Okay.
Make sure that get that later. Okay, beans, everyone. That was the entire timeline we have so far. So everyone's gone through everything. Okay, so everyone study those documents that I sent over to you, and next time we'll start quizzing out.
All right.
Cool
Cool.
beans. All right,
Okay.
thanks for staying all over,
Good
guys.
night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.